What it do, what it is, what it ain't. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Get Right Podcast. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to get notifications of new content. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you dig? Cue the music. Yo, what it do, what it is, what it ain't. It's your boy T. I'm back, and we back. It's the Get Right Podcast, man, and I'm never rolling solo. Got the homie with me. Jesus, I'm rusty. The homie with me, Rod. What's them 3 words?
What up, though?
Yes, sir. People that love to hate to love. Mr. Misconception. He was holding it down, man, with the what it do, what it is, what it ain't, the last episode, man. DC, what's good, bro?
Yeah, man. It's your boy DC in the place to be. AKA the Trigger, man. Shout out to my 80s babies. Let's go, man.
Man, let's get it, bro. It's good to be back. I was absent. I felt like DC. So I know you're going to give me shit about it, bro, but it was good, man. I had a good time, man. Went up north to Detroit, man. I was on the east side mostly, Rod, so I didn't hit the west. Wife's nephew graduated, man. Casino, congratulations, man, because I know you follow the page. I know you follow me on TikTok. We posting the stuff, man. Congratulations to you. Young man graduating. He out here in the world. Got another graduate out here. And so, future's yours, King. Also, while I was out there, man, you know, listening to y'all. Dope show, dope content as always, man. And just moving around Detroit, bro. It was dope, man. Kind of laid back. Had some bad news, and my cuz passed away. And he actually used to listen to the show, so I know we up there in Angel Radio as well. And so we talked about this a few episodes ago too, when we had Zach Gamble on there, and Rod made this point, man. Like he said, you know, you hear a voice in your head, it may sound like your voice, that's God talking to you. Crazy part is for me is this is my cousin of mine, DC. You probably don't remember him, but he remember you because you met him time you came up, and when I was living up there. So I actually had an opportunity to see him before he passed. But the thing was, I just wanted to chill at the crib. I didn't want to really go out.
Yeah.
And then my father-in-law was like, yo, take my extra car. Here are the keys, bro. Get out. Just go ride around. And so I was like, all right, cool. And then something told me to hit him up. I was like, man, I'm just call this fool. See where he at. He's like, man, I'm on the block. So I'll pull up on the block. And I'm kind of trying to be incognito. Because I ain't, you know, once people find out you in the city, people know you, you know, they want to pull you everywhere. You know how that go anytime you traveling. And so when all that happened, I was like, man, I'm going to pull up on him on the block. I'm going to hang out for like an hour or two. Man, that hour or two turned to like 8 hours. So I had the opportunity to see him. And then 4 days later, I get a call from another family member like, yo, cuz gone. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? And so for me, true, that was God's plan, bro. Like, I'm actually in a good space, man. I know, Rod, you reached out, as always, man. Even in the message when I let y'all know. But, nah, I love him to death. But I was at peace because I was like, nah, the God put me there to spend time with him. You know what I'm saying? And we just chopped it up. Man, we was laughing, talking about everything, bro. Man, remember you used to talk to so-and-so? Man, remember blah, blah, blah at the wedding? Remember? Like, we was just reminiscing. You know what I'm saying? About all kind of stuff. And so when that happened, I was like, man, even my wife's like, you good? I'm like, I'm actually at peace. Because I think God put me there to spend time with him one more time where I was trying to be in the house. You know what I'm saying? So I just took it as a sign. Like, you know, he told the OG, man, give him the keys, kick him out the house, and tell him to get in the streets. And then something told me when I was riding around just to hit him up. So I'm like, man, just call him. And so I'm good, man. Definitely. You know, we all gonna miss him, especially on the family side, man. But definitely at peace, man. You know, we in a better place. That's my faith and my belief, man. And he probably, like I said, we on Angel Radio. He still rock out, you know what I'm saying? Because he'll even text me like once or twice a month, like, man, I listen to the show, bro, man. Bro, DC, like, DC, you was his favorite, bro.
Oh, yeah. People's champ.
What it is.
People's champ.
And he remember you the time you visit, man. So he was like, oh, yo, he's solid. He's solid. And so he always, you know, always checked in, man. So I know he listening still, man. So we good. Like I said, I'm at peace, bro.
Man, shout out to Cuzzo, bro.
But y'all did good, though. You know what I'm saying? To use the Coming to America voice. Boy, good. Y'all had some good content, bro. The show was good. I laughed. It was definitely funny, man. Just the content, man. Everything was rolling, man. So definitely I'm glad to be back. Missed y'all. And now that we sharing all this love, we gonna talk about we gonna segue to some hate. Let's go to some music, bro.
Go straight to
Carter
the hate.
6 is out. The consensus of all 3 of us, we didn't like it. So DC, I'm gonna pass it to you first. I know usually when I'm back, you know, I'll pass it to Rod first. And I see the grin on his face though, but I'm gonna pass it to you, DC. Carter 6.
It's funny because I feel like maybe a couple episodes ago we were talking about him gearing
Yep.
up that album, and
Yep.
I was like, man, at this point, I really think he should just do collabs. You know, he
Yep.
don't even need to do solo projects anymore. And June 6th comes, and you see why I said only do collabs. Because God, dog, like I listen to it at the gym. I get up, 5 days a week at the gym, and a lot of times, especially on Fridays, that's when I kind of digest new music while I'm getting that workout in. And I couldn't even listen to it, bro. It was messing up my workout, bro. I'm not even like trying to be funny. Like I had to change it because I was like, bro, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna drop a weight because this is just so awful. But you know what I think that he was trying to do, man. I feel like he was trying to embrace his inner Drake. And here's what I
Mm.
mean. He was singing. But nowadays when Drake drops an album, he's had so many different styles. There's Houston, Texas Drake, there's Memphis Drake, there's Canada Drake, there's Caribbean Drake,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
there's R&B Drake. And so now because he's embodied so many styles over the years, when he drops an album, sometimes he tries to put all those in one album. He tries to feed everybody. I feel like that's what he did for All the Dogs. He tried to do a little bit of everything, and in doing so, stretch yourself so thin that you put out a project that
Yeah.
everybody's underwhelmed. Everybody likes 2 or 3 songs, but nobody likes the entire thing. And I feel like that's what this album was. It was 19 tracks. I felt like it came out pretty good. Like he had the first 2 songs reminding me of Carter slash like early Carter, like Carter 1 through 3, that era slash mixtape Wayne a little bit, and then it went downhill from there. You had the rock star, the whatever was it, I'm Not a Human Being. I think
Yeah.
is when he did his rock albums, whatever his rock albums were. You saw
Mm-hmm.
that Wayne come out. You
Rebirth.
saw auto tune, mumble rap. What is he even talking about? Wayne come out. Um, Pop star Wayne, he got a song with Bono that is not natural. Song with Wyclef, I thought that was a sleeper. So it just felt like he tried to do that same thing. He's had a lot of different styles, a lot of different like personalities, I guess, over the years, and he tried to put all that into one album, and it just don't work, bro. Like I feel like when you do that, when you're putting out an album, you just have to make a decision. Like, hey, this is who I am right now. This is what I'm recording, and this is what I'm doing. He just did a bunch of everything, and it didn't work. So I imagine there's gonna be some people that love the auto tune stuff, hate the quote unquote bars type of stuff. You're gonna hear some people like the pop type of music. Like he got the song with Jelly Roll and Big
Hmm.
Sean. I could see that song ringing off. It's not my cup of tea, but you could tell he was kind of shooting for the charts on that one. So that's my thought, man. There was just no real sense of direction, and I think that honestly, he needs Birdman, bro. He needs that Cash Money machine to reel him in and say, yeah, that's great and all, but we not putting this on the album. Do this. You know what I'm saying? Like one thing to remember is Birdman, Cash Money, when he was over there, they picked his singles. He might have recorded the album, but they're the one. He recorded the songs, obviously, but they're the ones that put the album together. They're the ones that said, no, this is a single. They're the ones that said, no, leave this off the album, put this on. And they're the ones that really kind of made the Carter series the classic that it is. I believe this is the first Carter he's dropped outside of Cash Money, and it is easily the worst, easily. And that's got to mean something, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's got the
I
grass ain't
see,
always
Rod.
greener.
I see, Rod. Man, Rod, what you thinking, bro? You want to respond to that last take though? That was the worst. This is the worst Carter.
I mean, Wayne's been. Is anybody surprised? I'm surprised that people are surprised. I think we said it
That's
on
what you
this
told
pod,
me. I was
bro. Like,
disappointed.
I'm like, well, I had zero expectations. I told y'all that when they announced his album, Carter 5 was trash to me. But, and trash is such a bad word. I don't like to shit on nobody art, so I'm not going to call it trash, but it wasn't for my liking. And this is the same. Like Wayne, man. Wayne is
Hey.
like part of putting together an album is having some sort of like, I'm still a fan of conceptual albums, man. You know what I mean? Like it should be cohesive. Even with Drake, I know you mentioned him having different styles. Usually there's a theme, right? The album still is cohesive. and it fits whatever that theme is. Outside of like the dark tapes and those, but those are mixtapes. Those aren't the albums. His actual albums usually carry a certain type of theme, and then you have the mixtapes for the conglomerate of everything. This sounds like a mixtape to me. Like, to call it the Carter, I think it does a disservice to that series, right? You know, you ever watch a movie and you're like, man, you kind of ruined the series. What's the name
X-Men.
of that? What's
Fox,
the name?
They ruined the series with X-Men.
That's not what I'm thinking of. What's the family, man, from Fast and Furious, right? Fast and Furious. At a certain point, it's like, this series is just like, I don't need to see another one. Carter 5 was that for me, but
11's coming. Damn, part 11.
Yeah, but Carter 5 was that for me. Like, I think after the Fast and Furious 6, maybe, I think that was the last one that I legitly watched, and I think I enjoyed it. 5 or 6, I can't remember which one it was. But that's how I feel about it, man. Like, at a certain point, you're just discrediting the series. Like, the Carter, no matter what you thought of the order, it was a respected series, you know what I mean? Even 4 wasn't my favorite, but I respected. We talked about it I think we talked about it online. It had some cuts on it. It had a few cuts that you like, okay, this is Wayne. This is vintage Wayne. This is, gonna go off 6 foot, 7 foot. A couple more off of there. 6, man. Like, the 6 and 5, just throw them shits away. Or don't call them that. Like, call them a mixtape, call them something different. Because, it's all over the place, man. Like, even the rhymes, like, people's like, yo, Wayne can still rhyme, but what the hell is he talking about? Like, he's repackaging rhymes that we've heard Wayne say a million times. I think I even heard Wine and Dine on there again.
He did. I was gonna just say that, bro. He used the Wine and Dine joint. And I was like, come on.
Yeah. So, like, you can't.
To me, that's the most egregious is, and to my bad, the most egregious is banned from NO. Like, he killed the band from TV beat.
There's no need to do that. There's no need to do that.
On No Ceilings. Yes. Why did you come back to that?
Made no sense.
What was that? Like, what were you think? What were you doing? Like, who was in the studio with you and said, "Yeah, that's it. Put it on the album."
That band from
NO. You know what it sound like to me? It sound like he tried to recreate the what's the special 5-4? I let one go.
Oh yeah.
Uproar.
Uproar. Yeah.
He tried to recreate Uproar to me because Uproar was, a special delivery repackaged with a slight difference in beat. And I think that's what he was trying to hit a lightning in a bottle with a single, almost to your point, DC. And it didn't touch me the way it should have. Pause, because he's already done it, bro. Like, you've done that beat already, and you killed that beat. No ceilings. You know what I mean?
So when I saw Band from NO, I was like, I hope this is not the Band from TV instrumental. And then when it came on,
I didn't even think about that, dog. I thought he was going.
Oh, it's the Band from TV instrumental.
I thought he was going to go. Honestly, I thought he was going to go into some Super Bowl type talk or whatever, and I was wrong.
No. Yeah, no. All over the place has been the consensus. That's how I feel too, bro.
But even the songs, like the production, like, you got a beat on there called Peanuts and Elephants, and that's done by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I love Lin-Manuel Miranda. Dope at Hamilton. Dope with some of the stories he didn't put together with the kid joint and Kanto. They don't know about Bruno or forgot about Bruno, however that go.
Yeah,
Shout out to
his
him,
pen
bro.
game nice too, and production. Yeah, nice.
He dope. That wasn't it though. I didn't need to hear Lin-Manuel Miranda doing a beat for Wayne, bro. Like, it's too many producers out here that can fit into whatever concept you wanted to put to make this work, man. But again, I'm not surprised. I had zero expectations. If it would have been dope, cool. You know what I mean? I would have been surprised at that point. But since it's not, in my opinion, I'm not surprised. But the thing about Wayne, he a legacy act. And at the end of the day, he's going on the tour. I think the tour actually started the day after the album or the day of the album.
Yep.
And people are going to show up because it's Wayne. You know what I mean? He don't have to perform anything off of this album. He did the Rock the Bells, and he brought out LL on the first stop. I think it was somewhere in New York. So he brought LL out. I think that may be the only song he performed off of it. But Wayne at this point in his career, it's if you're expecting prime Wayne, you're fooling yourself, right? Father Time waits for no man. Father Time is undefeated, and that's whatever sport it's in. And if you considering rap a sport, how would you think this is any different? And that's why features is the way to go, man. Features and touring. That's all you need to do. Last thing, and I'll get it back to you, T. Shout out to Pusha. Pusha T kind of called this on Infrared. If you go back and listen to Infrared, like, people mainly focus on the Drake thing, the whole written by Quentin, but a lot of that was at Wayne. Like, majority of I think it's like a 3-minute song. Majority of that 3-minute song is talking about Wayne, and I'm like, damn, this is where Wayne is right now. Like, if you go back and listen to the lyrics of that album, you'll be like, damn, all right, Push, I see you. Potent, man. Shout out to Push.
But nah, bro, I'm all over the place. You just said if you expecting Wayne, I have an expectation for Wayne, but yes, in context, features.
Why
features.
though?
That's where my high expectation was. Wayne barred up.
Wayne barred up, bro.
Wayne
is barred up, bro.
But
so
why
when
do
I
you have
see
a
him
high
on a
expectation of him
for this album? So here's the expectations that I had. My 3, barred up. 2, I expected Manny Fresh was a disappointment of that track that he produced, but I expected Manny Fresh to be more involved in that whole process, but she was not. That was a big disappointment. Because
what
I look at it like this.
song have you heard lately though that makes you think that Manny Fresh is still going to sound good in 2025 for Wayne?
That remake he did with Juvie, Party. That shit go hard.
I don't even know what that is.
They just dropped it. They dropped it earlier this year. So
yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Because when he linked up with Juvie, that ignited that flame. Yes, they redid 400 Degrees. But what I'm saying is, man, I think Manny still has it.
You heard the track though that came out.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
Before.
Yeah, that hurt me. That hurt me.
Still had a high expectation.
Yes. Like you said, bro, I got a good heart, dog.
You got a good heart, dog.
That's what he told me when we hung out the other night, and I was like, yo, I had expectations. He's like, for real? Bro, you got a good heart. That's all I had to say.
When I heard that little preview or whatever with Manny, my heart sank. I was like, oh, this album
that hurt
garbage.
Me. That hurt my feelings though.
This album's gonna be horrendous.
Also, I thought Wayne would go back like, hey, this is the finale, because he even said this is the finale. So I guess this is gonna be the end of the Carter series. If that's the case. So I'm like, okay, he got to get with Pharrell, or he got to get with Storch. Like, he got to bring it back. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was expecting. Like, oh, he probably about to get Storch back on here, bro. Hey, if he pull T-Pain back out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like piping myself up. So I probably amp myself up, pause. But like, I amp myself up, dog. Like, to like believe that this was gonna be one of the ones where, when he had T-Pain, when he had Ross, he had Scott Storch, you know what I'm saying? He was going crazy. That was the Carter 3. But like, that's what I was expecting, bro. I was expecting like that kind of a moment. And then, of course, barred up the mixtape Wayne. Track 1 and 2. I said, oh, yeah. Okay. I see you, Wayne. And then 3 and on, I was just like, well, what's going on? Like, what happened? And I was just very disappointed, bro.
So
like,
I'll let DC.
It's a get left. Like, we say it's get right, get left. It's a get left.
I'll let DC get his point out. Then I got something to add to
that. Just one, I think you mentioned all those different producers he would bring on. I'm gonna be real. I don't think that was in his budget. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to figure all these people got to get paid. And shout out to Wayne, Cash Money in them, and he was Cash Money. Burned a lot of bridges over the years to where a lot of people won't deal with Cash Money, and probably Lil Wayne as well. So the fact that he's not really getting top notch beats is not that surprising to me. But also, I'll just say, are we gonna just what's up with the Blood song, Loki's theme? Like, so what's crazy is this is like one of the biggest, I don't know what the word is, but the biggest like unspoken things in hip hop of Wayne being a Blood without claiming a set and being called out on being a fake Blood repeatedly, but he just doubles down. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, and he comes out with this Blood song, and I'm like, I'm listening to it, Loki's theme, and no disrespect to anybody who's outside, obviously, but when I see Wayne, I don't see that, and we've never seen that. I mean, he's been in the studio his entire life. We know this man's story at this point. I mean, he's been recording since he was 11 years old. When did you have time to run the streets like this? Are you being extorted? What is going on? But but we're the same age. Like, he was born a month before me in September. You're 42 years old. You've been rapping since 11. Why are you making Loki's theme? Why are you doing this? Who is that for? What people that's in the street do you think is actually going to listen to that shit? Now, again, maybe the Lokes out there, I could be wrong. I'm not outside like that, but I highly doubt that anybody is walking or anything to any kind of Lil Wayne anything. Why is that? What are you doing? What are you trying to get across? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you trying to convince? Because you're not convincing anybody.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, all right.
I agree wholeheartly, man. Like, I think people started to get a little hyped up right before, because the day of, if you were on Beyonce's internet, you would have seen a track list floating out there that was supposed to be the track list, right? It's day of, so you're like, okay, if this joint is coming out, this is gonna be straight. On the track list, you have features. It seemed very feature heavy. It was Drake on that list. It was Nicki on that list. It's Wyclef, which Wyclef still became a feature on it. That pass on that. MGK, he was on there. Kodak. So some of the features did land on there, but it's not the heavy hitters that people were expecting. And as the Puffy trial is going on, Academics was on stream and ended his stream saying it's gonna be a special night. We got Drake on there, we got Nicki, so almost confirming it. So I don't know if Wayne changed it at the last minute or if that was just like some rumor floating around. But Academics gonna say at the end, like, it's gonna be a glorious night. We got all these people on there, and all I have to say is hi, Kendrick. And it's like, one, why I'm tired of people bringing these dudes up and other people's stuff. Like, let it go,
people
bro.
People sore, bro. People still sore, bro.
It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
Let it
It's like
go,
Kane
bro.
whipping your ass on that tape.
Yeah, like,
That's me ain't letting it go.
Just let it go, bro. But from that, within probably 3 hours, it switched to Wayne tweeting out the actual list. And looking at that list, I'm like, you don't get excited for the features anymore, because honestly, I don't think people really wanted to hear a full Wayne song. And if they did, it's here and there. But you see 19 tracks and you see features of individuals, you're like, I wonder how that's going to work. Like Bono. Like, one of them had Miley Cyrus on it. That was taken off. But you have Sean, which, by the way, Sean had the best verse
on the album.
Best verse
on
the album.
Yo, y'all wild.
No, we not wild, bro.
Wild, bro.
Sean had the best
I'm not
verse
saying that to be funny.
on the album. He had the best verse on the album. I've heard Wayne. I heard Wayne say majority of the stuff he said on that album. How many times, dog? Like, I get it. You don't remember your lyrics, so at this point you're like, hey, this is a dope lyric. Yeah, it's because you said it already, bro. Like, that's cool. But Sean had a dope verse on the album. Quiet as kept, Big X the plug. The song sounds better for him than it did for Wayne.
Hey, Big X was talking that talk on there.
Spitting is that's okay. I don't know.
He was talking that. No. I ain't talking about lyrically, but he was on cadence and everything. He was talking
on
that
the
shit.
beat and the way he
swagged out.
He wrote it.
Yup.
Pause.
He was talking that shit.
Sound much better for him than it did for Wayne to me.
Yeah, Big X showed up.
So I'll even give Wayne the first like 6 songs. Like, first 6 songs, average, bro. They average.
Generous.
They average. I mean, I'm not gonna say they.
I'll give him 1 and 2.
I don't really like the Jelly Roll song, but again, Sean had a dope feature on there. After we just talked about DC and I talked about how Sean gets disrespected still.
Yeah, I listened to that take. It was a great take, by the way, too.
Man?
Terrible people feel that way.
Yeah, so for him to come out and again, in my opinion, had the best verse on the album, like, kudos to Sean. So, there's one bright spot, maybe 2, with Big X the plug. Yep. But for Wayne, I don't know if he just didn't have an A&R, but honestly, just don't make music like that anymore. First, features. It's all you need. pop up every now and again. You know, at some point, all the greats do it. Father time, bro. Jay might have put out albums like 444. He put out
the joint with Jay
Check
Electronica,
that.
the joint album with
Yeah.
Jay Electronica.
Yeah, that was
And
trash
and that
too,
album
right?
got panned. Yeah, it got
It got-
panned. Yeah.
It was pandemic and like people don't. He ain't put his name on it, so people don't realize that Jay was. It was a Jay and Jay Electronica
Yeah,
collab,
Correct.
bro.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
name is nowhere on the album, but he's on every single song.
Every single song. Yeah.
So
Call me crazy.
that album was very
Yeah.
You know
Very,
what I mean? So Jay ain't made a album since, bro. He'll give you we got 2 verses from him on the Khaled joint, I think. Maybe 1.
Yeah.
I don't,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
Yeah,
1 or 2,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, too.
Yeah, the guy
So-
did.
At
And
the
then
end of the day,
sorry,
bro,
with Nas.
yeah. So at the end of the day, that's all
All
you
we got.
need, bro. That's all you need. Like Wayne is at that point where if you can't remember your lyrics, bro, it's funny. I saw a tweet saying, you know what they was showing where Wayne was telling Baby that he don't write his lyrics down no more, and he going straight off the head pause when he in the booth, like everybody does now. Somebody tweeted out, maybe he should start writing them down at this point. I'm like, yeah, I mean, maybe. But again, Wayne is cemented as one of the
Yeah, he one of the
dopest, one of the dopest to ever do it, man. He's not, I don't believe in GOATs, but I believe he's one of the greatest to put words together. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to give you concepts. He's not going to give you just crazy intellect, but the way he puts words together, bravo, bro. As a rapper, there's not much you can ask for when you ask for a bar or 16 to 32 from Wayne. You know what I mean? Kudos to him. Great career.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? This is the farewell. You're not going out like Kobe. You're going out more like Paul Pierce. But you know what I mean? It is what it is.
I mean, he kind of is going out like Kobe. I mean, Kobe's last season was pretty bad.
Yeah.
That last game was
when I say
amazing, though.
Kobe, he went out
And
with
that
a
last
62.
game was trash too. Unpopular opinion, but it's all good. Man, he made
Well,
he
Well,
he
nobody
made, he
played
made
defense
60
on
points on 60 shots.
But nobody
Like,
played defense and everybody passed on the ball. So yeah.
Yeah. And he threw out mostly bricks. He was, he hit 60,
First
but
half.
like he took 60 or
Yeah, he
something
shot
like
like
that.
30. Yeah, he shot 40.
First half was rough.
Yeah,
rough.
he
Yeah.
put 40 of them things up. But all right. Hey, Rod, I want to keep it there. What you just said, we talk about someone the best to ever do it, putting bars together, staying barred up, and we all agree that's Weezy. There's been we listened to it, Joe Budden podcast. Shout out to them. There's that conversation going on about the game and Jada Kiss. It was a nice little debate. I'm gonna rewind to a few episodes, few seasons where DC said Ross was better than Kiss if he was from New York. But now he's talking about the game.
And I stand on it.
I mean,
Stand on it.
business. But now it's like, all right, the game and Jada. How would you rank them? Like, we ain't talking about nobody else. Like, who is the game first or is it Kiss?
As
Like,
far as what? Also,
As an artist. The whole
backstory. There was a complex list that came out a couple weeks ago that DC and I didn't get to touch on last week. But in this complex list, which I hate lists, none of them ever make sense because it's so subjective that I don't think it'll ever be 100% accurate. But some of these things be way off. It's like, come on, you got to be a little more objective than that. So in this list, they had as top LA MCs, and there's semantics there's semantics about what's LA and what's not.
They got Tupac.
Look, I got no skin in the game on that conversation. I can't tell somebody who they should rep and who shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Claims Oakland. That ain't LA. Leaving them off the list,
Thanks.
I understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Putting the game at outside of the top 10, he's right outside of the top 10 as great as, I think it said MCs or rappers of all time.
Yeah. He's top 10 easy.
In my opinion, yes. You know what I mean? Because
No doubt.
there's not many people in that list, including Snoop Doggy Dogg, that raps better than the game.
Facts.
Now, Snoop is the most recognizable and probably the most important to that city that I've seen.
Yeah.
But straight rapping, Game is that guy. You know what I mean? And I think DC mentioned it before. It's the outside of rap things that gets the Game in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The antics, the self-proclaimed problem child, as he called it. But he can rap, bro. Like, bar for bar, if you put him up against Kiss, I will say he makes better albums than Kiss, 100%. His albums
Easily.
are much better than Jada Kiss solo albums, even including the Locks. You know what I mean? I don't think
Including the locks.
Yeah, I don't think the Locks has ever dropped anything that's going to match the documentary, bro. Like that's a
documentary is
classic
tough.
album. So I'm putting Game ahead of Kiss for sure, but I don't think it's a far gap between the two in rapping ability.
Yeah, like maybe 2 spots.
Yeah,
3 tops.
All right.
100%.
Tops. Yeah, I agree.
Would you say just all right? What about just straight bars? Just bars.
Yeah, honestly, I'm putting the Game over Jada Kiss, bro.
Yeah.
I like Jada, bro, and I'm a fan. Let me just be clear. I am a fan of Jada Kiss. I'm a huge fan of the Locks. I've seen them perform live as a group. It looks exactly like
Versus.
bro.
Yeah.
It's epic, bro. It's epic.
yeah,
It's epic.
but
It's epic.
it looked exactly like the what's the thing they did against the Versus.
the
It looks
Versus.
exactly like Versus. Yeah. Well rehearsed. They know their lines, the energy, all that is there. So maybe Jada's a better live performer than the Game. I've never seen the Game live, but I've seen Jada live and he killed it.
Every
But-
time, bro. I
but
just
then
watched
I
that
got
red. I just watched that Red Bull joint too. Kiss show
Yeah,
up.
yeah. But with that being said, the Game is better at Jada Kiss at everything, except I would say the off the court stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just getting caught up in blatant lies and just the overall cornball activity. You know what I'm saying? That's what. Cause I think one reason that Jada gets held in such high regard is because there's no dirt on his name. Like, so you
He's
think
solid
about,
dude.
yeah, Game got dirt on Ross, got dirt on his name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was a correctional
CL.
officer and took the name of a known drug dealer, things like that, and he's just kind of seen as something of a like almost a WWE character. You know what I'm saying?
You
Nobody
always
really
said that,
takes
though.
Ross.
You
Yeah.
always said that.
Nobody takes Ross seriously per se. Whereas with Jada's never been questioned. There's never been any no smut on his name whatsoever. And I think that that's what kind of propels him in a lot of people's eyes is the quote unquote realness. But if we're just talking about the craft, the music, Jada's nice. He is nice, but he is not the nicest. He is not top 5 dead or alive. That's great branding, by the way, Jada. Great branding. You know what I'm saying? But that's just not true. You know what I'm saying? That man is not top 5 in anything. He's a very I would say he is like a playoff P. What's his name?
Paul George.
Paul George. Yeah, or like a Clyde Drexler, or Dominique Wilkins. Like great players, but when you think about all time, these are the absolute best. No, they're just really, really good players. You know what I'm saying? Paul George is a really, really good player. DeMar DeRozan, really, really good player. You know, and both those guys might end up going to the Hall of Fame, but we're not going to be putting them in the top 10 of anything. They're just really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Like a Clyde Drexler, for example.
That's a good assessment.
So that's what I mean. And there's no shade to him. There's nothing wrong with being Clyde Drexler. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with being Dominique Wilkins. But you're not going to be in the same convo as MJ. You're just not going to, your body of work ain't there, you know? And so, again, shout out to Jada. That's not a shot at him at all. But he has 0 classic albums. He's got classic verses. He got classic bars. But when you get to talking about the upper echelon, all rappers do. All rappers have classic bars. They all got classic verses.
Yeah.
If you really want to be up there, you got to have at least, I would say, 2 classic albums. If you're going to call yourself top 10 all time,
Yeah. I'm good
you
with
got to
one.
have 2 of them things. One's not enough.
I think one is
agree.
okay. It's like getting a ring. You know what
Top
I'm saying?
10 all time.
Yeah, most of
50
our,
years.
Yeah,
We talking about 50 years of
yeah,
hip-hop.
Yeah, most of our top 10 people, we would say top 10 probably has more than one classic album. So
I wouldn't even say most. That's a requirement, sir.
Oh,
All of 'em. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
Jay
fine.
got multiple. Nas got multiple.
yay.
The only one who might not have the only one who might not have multiple,
better go to
depending on
Wayne.
who you ask.
Better
You know
go
what I'm
to
about to
Wayne.
say? Wayne got multiple.
Like
But-
multiple.
But the only person who might not have multiple, I'm gonna say he does, but y'all gonna disagree, is my man 3 Stacks. You
Not
know
as
what
a
I'm saying? I'm
solo
counting them
artist.
Outcast albums.
Not as a
I
solo
knew somebody was gonna come with that shit. I knew somebody was gonna come with that bullshit. Nah, they count. They count, damn it.
You talking about that ain't classic.
Yeah, there you go.
That ain't classic.
There you go.
And the piano joint. He got the piano joint now too.
That ain't
Yeah.
classic though.
Yeah,
I would
all,
say
all top 10
hearing what you're
got
saying
multiples.
though. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair to say that. I would say bar for bar, yeah, out of New York if they was going like New York, because I know they kind of it almost sound like an East and West thing with the Game and Kiss. But I would say because when I was listening to Joe Budden, the only person I thought of immediately when Joe was like, "Bro, Kiss got the bars, he got the all that," and I was like, "Gang got them classic albums, dog. Like I can turn on One Blood right now and feel the same. Like, and it's bars behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And,
Well-
and then that Ali Boombaye, like I was just thinking about stuff that just constantly come up. But the only person I know that can get him bar for bar for me is Fab. I pick Fab over Game bar for bar. Bar for bar, I would pick Fab. Not in body or work, because Game will have him. Game got him. But we just say bar, put a beat on, and go spit. I got Fab.
I don't know if I can say that.
I don't
He
know
got
either.
bars too. He barred up. I ain't finna slight that dude at all. But I'm gonna go Fab. He
Fab
just,
is nice, but the game, bro.
Nice.
The game different,
Game is-
bro.
yeah.
Game
Game
got
is
bars,
different,
bro.
bro.
He's up there. Like for him to be 11 in Cali, like Kendrick, we got it. 1, cool. Ice Cube,
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? Legend, all that. Great. You know, they got Snoop on there. But Schoolboy Q, God bless the dead, right? Because we even talked about it as the best hook man. Nate Dogg,
Yeah, that's crazy.
like, you know what I'm saying? Though that we doing too much a little bit. And then you put NWA as an entire group. That's not fair to him.
Yeah, and
You
honestly,
just
bro,
use that Outcast 3 stacks. Talking about I'm counting
Yeah.
group albums. No, a group can't be there in one spot together. You know what I mean? Because Ice
They
Cube wrote
can't.
most of it if we want to go there. So like, come on, man. Like we gotta be better than that with that list. Easy didn't even have enough material.
Man, I wouldn't put Nipsey over the Game. Honestly, they
I
had
wouldn't
Nipsey
either.
over the
Nipsey
Game.
was
I wouldn't.
It was impactful to the West Coast culture, but he's not better than Game as like, you know, the lyrics, the artistry, and all
And
that.
Nipsey
If Nip
has
would have
one
still been
album,
here
man.
with us, exactly. I was just about to say that if Nipsey was still with us and he was still was able to
Bro.
stay consistent and capitalize all victory lap, then we can have a different discussion. But we can't, so we can't. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I put the Game's top 5. If you want to go
100%,
out there
in
on the
my
West Coast,
opinion.
like you said, we ain't got no stake in it. It ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't my territory. But he's top 5.
Yeah, I would say
I think
so.
what keeps him out of the top 5 is because although the Game is from LA, he's never rapped like an LA dude. The Game's shtick has always been, hey, I'm from LA, but I sound like I'm from New York. You're confused. Like that was his thing when he first came out. Oh, LA dude, he raps like he's from New York. Oh, that's amazing. We never seen that before. That was his shtick. And I think that is what kind of keeps him also the cornball activity.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about people who rep LA, obviously he reps LA, but LA is more than just the look, and you know, it's the bars, bro. It's the raps, and he doesn't like. If you didn't know he was from LA, you would think he's from New York. You know what I mean? Whereas like Snoop, he is unquestionably LA. Ice Cube, unquestionably LA, and I think that's probably why they get that placement above him.
But see, and Snoop wouldn't even say he from L.A. though. Snoop would say he from Long Beach. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
From the LBC.
that's the thing. Like that's why I can't even comment on their
Yeah,
list
we got
because
no stake in this.
you know what I mean. Like what is L.A.? I don't know. But Game definitely doesn't sound, and that's the thing again about people saying from the West Coast. Different parts of the West Coast have different sounds. You know what I mean? Like the
very
Bay
much
has,
so.
The Bay is totally
Bay has a different sound versus, you know, we'll say the Compton sound or LA County sound. You know what I mean? Like that's more gritty than anything. When you think about that, you think about NWA, like you just said. Wasn't like
Yeah.
NAA had bounce to it. It was gritty. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
gritty hip hop. It was gangster rap.
Yeah.
They invented
Yeah.
basically gangster rap. You know what I mean? Like that was
Yeah.
the origin of it. New York, it was more boom bap, and they had conscious. And remember Das Effects. They have even different
Das
parts of New
Effects.
York have different styles. You know what I mean? Bronx sound different from Manhattan.
Staten
Staten
Island.
Island wasn't even considered New York until Wu-Tang came. Griselda not really considered New York. They don't claim them like that. So it's hard to say you know, this person sounds like he's from a certain region because even the regions have different sounds. So I always hate that argument. The Game definitely
Yeah.
can rap better on a New York style beat than I will say some West Coast artists. West Coast artists seem to talk a little bit slower. It's like a slower pace type of vibe usually when you think about West Coast. So sometimes that don't translate to more up tempo, unless you're talking about the Bay, because that's all in up tempo. Even listening to E40, you know what I mean? 40 music is sound completely different from Snoop music, you know what I mean? So it's hard to tell, but I will say as just pure rapping ability, man, the game could easily out rap majority of your top MCs in whatever category you put it into. When he did 300 bars, bro, not many people can do that type of stuff, bro. Including Fabulous, bro. Like
Fabulous, bro.
Fab got bars. Now I'm not trying to hate on Fab. We know what Fab can do.
Get a hold of Fab. We need a 300 bar.
It ain't gonna sound like that though. It ain't gonna sound like, because Fab even has like a slower speed type of rhyme scheme. You know what I mean? So it ain't gonna hit. Like I remember when Fab came out, like realistically,
on those Clue mixtapes, he was
him and Joe Budden those were the guys. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then the albums came out, and then they weren't. You know what I mean? So people, kids out there, albums matter. And
that's facts.
I know it's a different time, and you can get buzz off of a mixtape easily.
But you got to come with that banger, though.
You got to have an album to back it up.
Got to.
Ray Vaughn right now got a dope mixtape. If you don't drop an album to back up that mixtape, it's all for naught, bro. Like, nobody cares.
Yep. Nobody want to care. No, speaking of
that's interesting. Does that matter anymore, though? I mean, like, because Eating of Fabulous, I don't think he's actually dropped an album in years. He dropped mixtapes. Summertime Shootouts, Soul Tape series. Those are all mixtapes. But I don't think he's actually dropped an album in years, even though all of his mixtapes are original beats, studio quality. His
albums aren't that great, to be honest with you. They got some nice songs on them. Like you got the songs for, like, Fab took a weird path for me. You know what I mean? It's like he geared his music towards, his albums at least, towards like almost like women to me. Maybe that's just what the heavy hitters were. But even listening to it, like I remember again when Fab was on those Clue mixtapes, he had a huge buzz, and then his first single come out with Nate Dogg. That I don't remember the name of it, but
I want the night.
Yeah. And I was like, it sounded all right, but we tried to bang it, and then it dropped the same day as Blueprint, so that was a mistake. Hindsight,
he
probably shouldn't have did that.
He claimed that.
But I remember listening to it, and you hear "Holla Back, Youngin'," woo woo. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, this is not the Fab I was listening to.
He's in there Harlem shaking.
Yo, why you do that to Holla Back, though?
They was in there Harlem shaking in that boy,
man. Like that was not one of the Neptune's greatest moments, bro. Yeah, so
random.
I think it still does matter, though. To answer your question, I think the album still.
Yeah, they do. Man, to me,
well,
yeah, I agree.
I agree. I guess it depends on what you define it as, because again, So Far Gone was a mixtape, but what is considered a mixtape now? Like this Ray Vaughn joint, I know DC, you heard it. It's considered a mixtape. But it's all original music.
I thought it was an album.
Yeah, it's not rapping over somebody else's beats. It's a mixtape, quote unquote, of what they're calling it. So if the mixtape turns out to be better than your debut album, like, what's the point? It's almost like, look at Section 80. Is that an album or is this a mixtape? Depending on who you ask, they'll tell you a different thing. I consider it I consider it an album, but technically it's a mixtape. They say
you just said it. Some people gonna consider that Ray Vaughn an album. Some people will.
Well, I think Section 80 is an album, because even when he did when he finally did do Good Kid, Mad City, it was not considered a debut album. I don't think.
You sure? I thought it was. That's why I'm always so confused on Section 80. I don't know. So I still think it. I think it matters. I think the album matters. You know, mixtape can be whatever you want it to be, but the album, hopefully, outside of this Carter 6, has some sort of concept to it that I don't know, gives you a
Hey, man,
a full
the
complete
internet,
project.
the internet says Section 80 was his first album.
Is that what is listed
Yeah,
as?
yeah, it
Though
was.
that's what it's listed. All
Yeah.
right, well, I consider it an
That was
album,
his
but again,
debut studio album, July 2nd, 2011.
so
Not kid wasn't his
Yeah.
debut.
Yeah, it was
bro.
out. And you know, another unpopular opinion. I meant to say this when we was talking about top 50 or what the California list. You mentioned Nate Dogg being up there. Unpopular opinion. Ty Dolla $ign got him.
yeah,
Ty Dolla $ign is from Cali.
yeah,
And if we talk about granted, Ty Dolla $ign is still kind of
You
outside
know how I
right
feel
now,
about
so
Ty Dolla
you can't
$ign. That's
say.
my guy.
Yeah, but
That's my guy.
when the dust settles, Ty Dolla $ign is gonna go down as a better hook man than Nate Dogg.
yeah. Shout
I
out
He's
wouldn't
Ty
gonna
be
go
mad
Dolla.
down
at
as a
that.
better hook man,
I
bro.
want to be, man. No, Ty Dolla show up, bro.
Yeah, you got an
Yeah.
album dropping
Show
too.
up, bro.
I think this Friday. Tycoon. Shout out
I
Ty
hope
Dolla.
so.
Oh, really?
I hope it's good.
Yeah, he posted
Okay.
something
I hope-
about it. But yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah,
Ty Dolla
he got to
is-
get some
is
dirt
that
off his
guy.
name a little bit with that yay.
yay, so
Yeah.
yay, damn it, yay.
Well, I mean, I'm interested. I mean, Ty Dolla don't disappoint to me, so you know, my heart is still good, Rod.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
anticipating a good one from
Yo,
Dolla.
speaking of Ty Dolla $ign and Ye, more so Ye. So the Clips have an album coming out July 11th,
I'm excited about that too.
and they just did an interview, right? Kind of talking about what kind of held up the album a little bit. Like they were saying it was due to trying to get a Kendrick verse, and lo and behold, that Kendrick's verse been submitted for a while now. So a lot of what kind of ended up delaying the album was trying to work through this whole lawsuit thing and Kendrick being on the verse and the optics of him being with Pusher and all that. But in the interview, and we can get into all that stuff another time if we need to, but in the interview he did mention something about Ye and like what he thought about him right now and why they don't click anymore. And his response was interesting. He said, I don't look at him as a man. And he said he's a genius.
Oh, wow.
And he's really good at seeing through fakeness. And I think he just see how I really feel about him. I don't look at him as a man anymore. And when you think about it, like look back at some of the clips over the years of just like some of the things that like I don't see how anyone can look at any friendship that's ended because of Kanye between those two or relationships or whatever and be like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? I get it 100%. So whatever you say,
Right.
I get it. Because obviously
Right.
we see the stuff play out in person. Imagine what happens back, behind closed
the
doors. Like I remember this was, I don't know, something Kanye was doing, but he was, putting screenshots on, and he put a screenshot of him telling, it was J, B, Pusher, and somebody else. Maybe this was when he was trying to go through, trying to be the president. I don't know, whatever the hell Kanye had going on. And he put on there, I got more money than all of y'all, and y'all, whatever. He's screenshotting this stuff. So it's like you trying to demean me in public at all costs. You know what I mean? Even going back to the whole Drake beef that Kanye had, Pusha got into the beef halfway because of Kanye. You know what I mean? He stepped up for him. And I don't know if y'all remember the Joe Budden podcast when he was on there and talking about it. He said, look, there'll be times I couldn't be in the studio because he'd be bringing this dude in because they on again, off again. He was like, no, I don't roll like that. Like, nah, he's an op to me. So they would arrange stuff there. You know what I mean? He would have to be away from the Wyoming thing, and then they'll pull Drake in there to collaborate with him. And it's like, I can't rock with that. You know what I mean? I ain't built like that. So I ain't mad at him for saying that. It's like, but that was pretty interesting that his response was, I don't even see him as a man anymore. Like he's whatever.
Man, that's a deep cut, bro.
That's a deep cut.
Man,
Shout out to Pusher.
yeah.
But they had
July
to pay
11th.
7 figures, bro. 7 figures to get out their deal. Like we were talking about, they were dropped because of the Kendrick verse. They weren't dropped. They had to pay 7 figures to get out that deal because they wouldn't censor.
They were Rock Nation.
Kendrick Lamar.
He said they feel in a good place with Rock Nation.
It's just a distribution. They not signed to Rock Nation.
Yeah.
They independent.
But, I mean, I think the distro gonna help. I think they're gonna get pushed. They're gonna get pushed nice with it. I think so. I think Jay gonna.
I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. I don't think. I mean, here's my thought. I think that Clips is cool. unless they got some kind of bot that I don't know about, I don't really see it going. I don't see it really doing much. And if they paid 7 figures to get out the deal, that's going to be a tough recoup. Yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. I mean, I don't.
We'll see.
Maybe they make their money on the road. They're not going to make it. I
Yeah,
mean, nobody makes money on sales anymore. So
yeah,
I
they
mean,
make it
nobody.
on the road.
Or
Like
streams or
clip,
whatever the case might
clips
be.
are,
Yeah.
you know, what I mean, clips are never going to be the mainstream artists that certain individuals are. They're going to have their core fans. The music is always going to be catered toward those core fans, and
Yeah.
their core is pretty damn deep. So they're gonna be one of those legacy acts. They can tour forever, and they ain't gonna do like stadiums or nothing, but they can get decent venues and pack them out and recoup eventually. But plus they got the outside stuff. They Pharrell hooks them up with or Push got the Adidas joints and part of Louis
Yeah,
Vuitton joints and
yeah, that's
all
true.
that. So that's where the money is now. Is the outside of rap type of things.
The NILs.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think they'd be all right.
They good with it,
At
man.
least
that's
Push.
got
I don't know about what No Malice got going
no
on, but
malice. Yeah, that gets me thinking, man. So we talk about clips, and I think we know what we're gonna get with clip. We're gonna get coke raps. We're gonna get
always. Yeah.
high society coke raps,
Mm.
and that's cool. That's cool. But what strikes me is, you know what? Yeah, don't even worry about it. I ain't gonna go down that. It's an old topic, and I don't want to be the dead horse.
Mm.
I want to be the
All
dead
right.
horse. Yeah,
All
we'll move
right.
on.
Now I'm
Hey,
curious.
right. But all
I'll
right,
write it down. I'll write it down.
Yeah.
write
We
it
talking
down.
off
Write it
mic.
down. Write it
Yeah,
down. Make sure you
Yeah.
don't forget, man. All right. I know before we go, you had a question. We kind of talked about it before we went on air, man. You had a question about relationships, men and wives, and wardrobe malfunctions or lack thereof.
Sure. Yeah.
What's that
Yeah.
question, bro?
Now, how do y'all feel about, we'll say, couples that no matter where they go every day, they have to be dressed similar? Like they have to have some sort of coordination going, like they Pops and his wife on what's the movie Boomerang, right? Like got the
Oh,
mushroom
yeah.
belt, bro. She got the mushroom earrings or whatever. You know what I mean? They always got to be coordinated together. Cause I tell you, man, like for me, and I'll let y'all answer, but for me, like sometimes I'll get dressed just, I've been with my wife for 2 damn decades, you know what I mean? So sometimes our brains just think alike. I go in and put something on, she come out, we ain't even talking about it, and we got the same type of fit on. And I'm like, one of us got to change, bro. Like, unless it's like a photo or something that we going to do, like one
Yeah.
of us got to change, and it becomes then a battle of who's going to change. Usually, it turns out to be me, but
Yeah.
I there are certain people, I guess, that what I mean, they can't be out in public unless they are in coordination, in sync with each other, letting the world show, if you wearing pink and green, I'm wearing pink and green, so we got to be out here, man. How y'all feel about that? Is that y'all? Is that
Every
y'all, fellas?
day. Every day, no, man.
That sound like tea all day, bro.
Oh, so no. Here's the thing though, because there's the petty side of me. Like, so my wife hates that unless it's photos. Like, hey, this is what we gonna do. We gonna step. So we need to have like not the same outfit, but just like same color, that same color palette. Cool. But then there's sometimes I'll see her wear something. I'm like, I'm just gonna match her just cause I know that pisses her off. So I'm petty. So just the other weekend we went to the game show, and shout out to that spot out in Valentine. That was dope. She was already dressed. And so I was like, oh, okay, you wearing tan and black. And she was like, you better not get no. And so I'm in the closet getting my stuff out, though. And she was like, you better not grab that tan polo. And I was like, I'm not going to grab the tan polo. I'm grabbing something totally different. But in my head, when I saw her wearing it, I was like, yeah, I'm about to be petty. But she knew it, though. Then when you, like you said, when you together with people so long, they know they know where your head at. And so, but nah, man, not every day. That's a tough ask. Because then, like, I got to buy what you buy almost. In a sense, I won't do that, bro.
Or she shops for you, or you shop for her.
And then
I mean?
yeah,
It's vice
no.
versa. That's the
No,
old school
shopping
way.
for her and shopping for me is in the form of gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like, other than that, I'm not gonna be like, y'all bought this outfit for you because I got the same outfit. You know what I'm saying? And I see that all the time. It'd be funny, bro. Like, especially like Oh, the Tommy Hilfiger era, bro. That was crazy. You used to see men, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. They have the matching Tommy. I be like, yo, y'all out here, y'all are tough with.
That's what it reminds me of. That and
See?
like we had a spot in well, it's in Ohio, but it's very similar to Carowinds, DC. That's here. I think it's owned by the same person
Hey,
actually.
yep.
But it's called Cedar Point.
Okay.
Couples used to go to Cedar Point dressed alike. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like not even couples, like groups of people would just go dress. I don't even know why the hell that was a thing, but I ain't gonna lie. I think I did it once, man. We had the Javon Curse jersey. I had a Javon Curse, and he had on my homeboy had on.
You was matching your homeboy, bro.
Yeah, we had the jerseys
no,
on.
pause, bro.
Yeah,
pause.
Y'all
Major
both had
pause.
y'all both
I
had
had-
Javon Curse.
No, I had the Curse. No, he had the Curse, and I had the Eddie
Mr.
George,
Steve
bro.
McNair, bro.
No,
Don't
I
tell
had
me
Eddie George.
the Eddie George, yeah.
the Eddie George.
Yeah, we had the jerseys on. Like, I don't know, it was
Man,
like
we
some
done
gangster.
that. We done that. We done that, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna
Wait,
front on that.
You was like,
man.
what
We-
you like? What 18, 19?
Like 17, yeah.
Yeah, bro,
We
bro.
went to Cedar
Hey,
Point. We was,
hey, DC.
Now we didn't stepped out in jerseys before.
Yeah, we did that.
Like but not to say, hey, we gonna rock the same team though.
yeah,
I don't think we done did the same team
I don't-
before.
you know,
Bro,
I don't
we
remember
have,
if it
dog.
was
Hey,
planned.
DC, I'm gonna call this out, yo. We have, dog.
I don't think that's occurred, bro. I don't believe that's occurred, bro.
Bro,
Now
here's
we've
what
definitely
happened.
done the jerseys for sure.
Yeah.
No,
Here's the thing, dog. Here's the thing, bro. It was, yeah, bro. We did. We was in Germany, dog, because you had that Stephen there, and I had the Eddie George.
Man.
Right. He
Look at that,
he just trying to make you
look at
feel
that,
better, bro.
look at
I'm
that.
not.
He trying
I'm
to make
not,
you
bro.
feel better,
Hey,
bro.
bro. We 18 though. We's 18.
Hey.
A little time ago.
But
Bro.
yeah.
But then there was times we all just stepped out, like, yo, we all wearing.
Yeah.
We
all,
didn't definitely stepped out in the jerseys,
like
bro.
somebody was on the team.
Yeah. Bands, wristband, you know what I'm saying? Long ass chain that goes like down to your belt and shit for no reason. Be swinging all over the place.
Bro, yeah, bro. We was on that, bro. I was like, what you wearing, bro? I'm wearing that Emmitt Smith. Bro, I'm about to
So,
throw him, bro. I had
yeah.
this Keyshawn Johnson, that Jets boy.
See, but yeah, back in those
Just
days,
step
you
it
know,
up.
man, you young, you 17 years old, you don't know no better. Now you're a grown ass
Yeah,
adult.
but
So I'm good.
Yeah.
That sounds like a story of Canaan. I don't know if y'all seen that. There's a couple of drug dealer, like husband and wife drug dealer. They're matching every time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you beat you and Ryan.
Yeah, pop snaps and pops.
Snaps and pops, yeah. But nah, man, we don't the Campbells. We don't rock like that, bro. We don't match. Matter of fact, we clown people that match, bro. Like we're out and about, and like people watching or whatever, bro. We will point it out and crack up. Like, yeah, lame. Yeah.
Like I said, it got to be a special occasion, bro. Like pictures, even just color scheme. Let's not even say like the same outfit, but it's color scheme. Like it's a special occasion.
Now I
Like,
ain't gonna lie.
I think y'all did that for the '90s party, but
Yeah,
again, special occasion.
And me and my boys will have the same color palettes on. I wear a lot of black, so it ain't hard to dress like me. So,
And stuff. Hey, real talk. We went to Jamaica, but we didn't know. We don't conversate like about, hey man, what's in your suitcase? You know what I'm saying?
nah.
We was in Jamaica. We both stepped out, and they was like, "Oh, why y'all both wearing pink?" We was like, "It's actually mauve," but we saw each other, and we saw each other like the Spider-Man meme. We was like, "Oh, bro, I see you, dog. I see, bro. Good minds thinking like, cause they was like, look at what y'all wearing. Like, I was like, we didn't talk about what was we was packing, bro. We just stepped
at
out.
all.
You know what I'm saying?
My man said this ain't pink, this is mauve.
Yeah.
Yo,
It's
that's
mauve,
nasty
bro.
work, bro.
It was nice though, bro. It was just happened. I was like, oh, all right.
Yo,
I see you, dog.
I had to Google what mauve actually was, bro. I was like, what? It's like a grayish or dusty purple. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't never. That's man. Yo, you kill me with that mauve, man. But
Hey, JJ started it though. Like somebody ran up on, was like, "Oh, I love your pink suit." And he was like, "Excuse me, it's mauve. And I have a mauve this day." And he walked off. He walked off.
yeah, but nah, man, we not doing none of that, bro. You know what's funny? The wife and I, we got matching sweaters that I don't think we've ever worn at the same time. And what's crazy is the way it even came about is we went to Tennessee. I think that it's like us and like 5 couples or something like that. T was there.
Oh
And
yeah.
and the convo was T and his wife was gonna wear something matching because we were like in like a group chat or something like that. And so Ryan, my wife and I, we like clowning, like pillow talk, laughing, like yo, what are they doing? Da, 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 woo, woo, woo. And then it just so happened, like, bro, I tell you, God's word, like. I don't know, a day or two later, we see this Diano. I don't know if y'all heard of Diano. It was like African-inspired brand. So they had these sweaters. They had this new release of sweaters that came out, and it's like his and hers. And it looked fly. I ain't gonna lie, it just looked objectively dope. So I bought them. You know what I'm saying? I bought one for me, one for her. And she's like, oh, that looks good. Da, 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 da. We tried them on. And I was like, but we're not wearing these in Tennessee because we was talking cash shit about T and his wife. So I was like, yo, even though it would be kind of dope, we never did. And like, I think we were going to. I took my sweater, but I was like, I couldn't bring myself to wear it on the day that she wore it because I'm like, nah, like I didn't talk way too much shit. I can't now wear a matching fit. But we came real close up in Tennessee. We was about to do it.
That is too funny, dog. Like, but people who know me, they understand. Like, you can even ask my wife how I feel about when she buy these damn Christmas pajamas every year. I be like, the work it takes to put me in those things and get in those pictures and smile, bro. Y'all just don't know, bro.
Yeah, we got the matching PJs, man.
Yeah, we be doing it.
And our dog got the PJs too. We got the PJs for the dog.
That. Yeah, Rob be like, yo, I hate that, bro. He be in the bathroom, bro. Boy, it be boys in the hood. He be swinging fist, bro. Before he come out and put a smile on, he be in that back room.
I get it together though for the camera, dog. We get in acting mode and we go for it, bro.
Action.
Yep. Hey. One thing I know we about to wrap up, but y'all think this Elon and Trump thing is real, man, or is this publicity? Is this WWE, bro, trying to get Elon back in good graces to sell his Teslas?
I think the beef is real, but I think Elon stoking the flames to get Tesla back on pace. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? I think
the beef is real only because this happens with Donald Trump all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Part
like, yeah. So like, I mean, he has
on everybody,
bro. He has friends. In the moment it's not advantageous, he'll throw them away. You know what I'm saying? He did it to
Mike Pence, his VP,
Bannon,
and his wife. His wife was collateral damage.
Yeah, I want to say Steve Bannon. His former attorney / fixer. Julian. Like, but
he was a rat. Even though he didn't snitch on him though. Still call him a rat. He know where the bodies are buried, and still talking down on him.
Yeah. So I don't think it's fake. I think this is par for the course for Trump. If it's somebody else, maybe, but this is what he does. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's fake. And I don't think that. I could be wrong, but I don't think that Elon Musk cares enough about his public perception to even do a ploy to get Tesla back on top. I think just him stepping away from government and actually paying attention to what's going on with his own company will be enough. I mean, because the man, regardless how you feel about him, he made it. Like he's got Tesla, he's got SpaceX, he's got I think something else I can't think of. Yeah. So you don't get there by accident. And it doesn't all just go away because you work with the president for a few months.
So that
you know what I'm saying?
That's where Trump put the threats out there recently, and he was just saying like, yo, you start because he was like, all right, the Senate nomination is gonna be coming up soon. I can go put some money into the Democrat pocket, saying for more campaigning and all that, and they can take over the Senate. And so Trump was like, yo, you start messing around with stuff like that, I'm gonna start pulling them government contracts. One SpaceX. He said, so if you want to do that, you know what I'm saying, like I can do this. Start pulling government contracts and, start raising the import-export prices of Tesla. So that's the game, and Trump made it public. He made that announcement like 2 days ago. Like, if that's what you want to do, then I'm going to start pulling contracts.
Yeah, I don't think it's fake. I think this is politics. It's just that normally these kinds of things happen behind closed doors. Now it's happening in front of everybody. Because
obviously he took them, which is crazy. This is so petty, bro. Because you remember when he got back in office, that Twitter account got activated. Now that we beefing, I deactivated all your stuff. So now, Trump on it's called Truth Social platform. and then Elon, they going back and forth. It's a whole social media thing now. They just putting everybody's stuff out there like that, bro. And he said, and then Elon was like, "Yo, this is the person that that's where Trump was like, all right, keep messing around. I'm gonna start pulling contracts because he was like, yeah, you the one who got ties with Epstein that you don't want to get out. He put that on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
Boom,
And so
boom,
Trump was like,
boom,
all right,
boom, boom,
yeah,
boom, boom.
right. Yep.
Beat the grounds, bro.
That's pretty much what this is, dog. And it's funny. Like, I mean, they be going, it's some old dudes really just going back and forth on Twitter.
Yeah.
One old dude and one older dude going back and forth on Twitter, bro. Like, it's a little wild, crazy social media, but yeah, I think you kind of had that point though, DC. Like, it is, he done flip the script on anybody, bro. If you just dislike one thing, oh yeah, you getting two birds, and you getting fired, all that, bro. You either with them 100%, not 99, and that's just what it is. And I think Elon, everybody saying he on the FAFO.
Mm-hmm.
Elon finally he had a slice of that FAFO pie, and now you know what's up.
Yeah, one of the things though that has me leery is, like he said, the Elon that is said this big beautiful plan is terrible, and that he didn't see it beforehand, and he didn't know about the EV mandates being cut. But I could have sworn Trump talked about that before he even got elected. I ain't gonna even swear on it. I know he did. I know he for sure he said that he's not going to mandate. He's going to cut those credits. He's going to cut the credit for buying EVs, and he's not going to mandate to where these companies have to make EVs by a certain time frame. I forget the time. I think it was like 2028 or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. He did say it. No,
he did say that.
I don't see how that's a surprise. Like, this seems to be what's causing Elon to go on a frenzy.
On that pointless debate with Biden before they start talking about if you can golf.
Yeah.
But he talked about it then. You know what I mean? So
that's why part of me is like, I don't know if this is real, man. It sounds like he just because Tesla has taken a hit. Like, he was forced to step away from the government for one, because he had to spend, like, the board of directors at Tesla told him like you gotta be here at least, I think it said 40 hours a week at minimum to remain CEO, and part of that caused him to step away from the government aspect of it because he had to be there. And yeah, like, his association with Trump and what he's doing has definitely caused an uproar with Tesla sales. They've been tanking. Stock's been tanking. Well, stocks everywhere has been tanking, so I guess that's not a real indication. But, people have been basically vandalizing Teslas just because Elon is associated with it. So I'm like, at some point, unless they do cut those contracts, like if he cut contracts, yeah, it's real. But if he don't, it still could be like, all right, this is what we gonna do. They have a conversation behind the scenes, like, we just gonna act like we beefing. Let me get back in good graces to get my business back up, and we'll still slide you some bread on the side to help with your future, whatever, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I could see DC's way. I could see that as being a point, but I can also see them, kind of masterminding all this just to save face.
Yeah, I mean, Rod, you the master of it, bro. From last year's election, you always said it, bro. They just playing in our face.
Yeah.
I can hear that. You saying that. You was like, bro, they just playing in your face.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we can see. Yeah, if he cut the contracts, that'll make it really, really real. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really telling me you ain't fucking with me no more without telling me you not. Like you cut contracts. I know, because he did go on Twitter too and say he fired from his government job. So I'm like, he fired. I fired him. He always like to talk about he firing people. So he let it be known he fired him. And so yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that though. Yeah, if contracts do get cut, and if you see Elon hanging out with Pelosi, like it's probably real. Then like, he over there hanging out with Pelosi and Chuck Schumer all the damn time now. It's like, okay.
And what's crazy to me is, like, this whole back and forth is a telltale sign that we are truly living in an oligarchy. You know what I mean? Whereas a few people are controlling everything. And, it's one of those things where,
what's in the dark.
One could say it's always been like that, or it's been like for a long time.
Always.
But I again, to the whole, playing in our faces thing, it's like it's never been like this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like where it's clear, like clearly and obviously, Elon bought. He spent like $300 million, buying the election
So,
for
sir.
Donald Trump.
Elon talked about it. He put it up there. He was tweeting like, "Oh yeah, bro, but don't forget that 250 that I gave you to get you where
Yeah.
you needed to get." I was like, "Oh, he reminding you about what I've been."
Yeah.
The gifts I gave you. It's like that kind of stuff. Like, "Oh yeah, but I bought you this gift, though. I bought this."
Yeah.
Yeah, he making it known that he cashed
Yeah.
out.
I mean, but it's just the fact that they're putting it like
Yeah, it's out there. Everyone
on
to know.
Twitter, not the DMs, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like, wow. Like, hey, don't forget I bought the election. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, I mean, we know that, but you're not supposed to say that though. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like when it's like the whole Diddy thing. You fly, well, not Diddy thing, but if a rich guy flies a lady out, you know what it is, but you're not supposed to say it. You know what I mean? Like you're getting flued out so you can get knocked down and sent back.
Look,
but you're not supposed to call it that. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you switched that up because Diddy was flying out dudes, man. Like we think about trafficking as women, but hey, they trying to say he trafficking guys, bro.
Yeah. He out of there, bro. He getting 10.
I don't think it's gonna happen, bro.
I don't think so.
I think it's gonna be some kind of lesser charge. And because speaking of which, I don't know if you saw the judge went in on him for looking at the jurors and nodding his head.
Yeah.
But to me, when the judge gets to that point, it seems to me that the state has a pretty weak case. Because my thing is, you gonna kick. Granted, I didn't see it. Nobody saw what happened because they don't allow cameras. But essentially, you want the defendant who's fighting for his life, regardless of how you feel about the man. He's a defendant fighting for his life, and there's 12 people off in the corner that's going to choose whether he spends the rest of his life behind bars or if he can go back home. And you mean to tell me he can't look at them and he can't nod when he hears something that he agrees with? That's pretty normal stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at it like that, and then you look at some of these witnesses that kind of, faltered on the stand. And oh, by the way, this is the time where the prosecution is supposed to look good because they're at bat first. You know what I'm saying? The prosecution presents their case first. And then once they're done with their part, the defense comes in. You know what I'm saying? So it's always going to look like, and I'm not saying I don't know who's going to win, but that's the way it looks. Like prosecution is always going to look better on the front end because they're presenting their case first. And so when you have all of this going on and you're talking about you can't look at the jurors anymore, I'm going to throw you out. What? Yeah. Like, I don't know. That to me is like somebody maybe is concerned about losing a case. That's what it looks like to me.
Judge on what he's being tried for, and right now what he's being tried for, it don't seem, and I'm not in the room, so I'm just going off of what the reports are. It don't seem like there's enough there to convict him on what he's being accused of. Is he a bad dude? Hell yeah. Is his public perception ruined forever? Hell yeah. But trafficking male strippers, male prostitutes, I don't know if that's the thing that's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening, but it ain't happening. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like you said,
no, I know what you mean.
Bro. Like escorts. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I ain't paying them to have sex.
Yeah, that's why I think like there's gonna be some charges he can't get around. Like he had assault weapons in his house with the serial numbers filed off.
Yeah.
Ain't no getting around that, bro. You're going to sit down over that.
Yeah.
But, like, as somebody with no priors, I don't see him getting a whole lot of time for something like that. But as far as the trafficking stuff, I don't see it. If it was a domestic violence case, easy. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, it's not even going to court. They're going to settle or whatever. But I don't know. So far, I'm not really seeing him sitting down for no 10, 15, 20 years. I don't see that happening.
Well, we'll see. Well, we got 4 more weeks.
Something like that.
So we'll see.
And we haven't even got to the defense part yet. Like, we don't even know what the defense is going to lay out.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All they've been doing is playing defense and basically cross-examining whoever the prosecution puts on the stand. They've done pretty decent so far from what I can tell.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, man. Before we wrap, man, Rod, you already know. After all of this conversation, bro, what's some words to keep the people motivated, bro, this week, man?
What you're not changing, you're choosing.
Damn. That's deep.
It's crazy. You can say that both ways. What you're not choosing, you're changing. That really goes both ways.
Pedestrious, bro.
Yeah.
Bars, man. But as always, man, good to be back. We're going to take a bye week, man. It's Father's Day. We're going to celebrate ourselves and do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We ain't making no plans. We ain't making no action. None of that. It's gonna action just gonna come to us. So, but as always, man, it's good to be back, man. Good to catch up. As Rod always introduces himself with those 3 words. You know I gotta end the show with 3. Kill the music.